Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Friday morning. Got a great show lined up. Got a famous Friday fishing forecast. We're going to give away some seafood from Tarpon Dock. Have Brad Stevens here in the studio. Just a great show lined up. So let's get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Tactical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Today's high is only going to get up to 86, but listen to this. Get a drum roll on this. Our low tonight will be 64. Be a great night for Friday night football. The Battle River over in Bluntstown and Liberty County is going to be a great ball game. All kind of good high school football going on tonight. It's going to be perfect weather for some good football. So, but the water temperature now, we talked about it going down this week. It's down to 83, so it's dropped 3 degrees within about 7 days. So that's been a good sign right there. The river readings, talking about the river readings, the Apalachicola is in great shape. The old timers used the phrase, the river is right this weekend. I can promise you there are going to be some nice messes of fish coming off the Apalachicola River. The Choctawhatchee at Carrotville, it is going down today. It peaked out last night at 11.9. It just shot up the last 2 days, but you see where it's going down. And by the weekend, by Saturday and Sunday, it's going to get on down to about 9 foot. So it's dropping out. If you like, a lot of people like to fish falling water. And this is going to be an excellent time to fish falling water. A lot of cat fishermen love to catch that falling water at the mouth of a creek and all, set up trot lines, or just sometimes just sit up there at the mouth of those creeks and just fish that bottom right there, because that water's falling and all that food's coming out of the sloughs and backwater. All right, now take a look at our tide chart. Of course, brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery, and their motto is "When Caring Counts," right here on 23rd Street in Panama City. And our tide today, we're looking on the 27th, folks. This is last Friday of September. We're about to wrap up this month, and it's been a wet month, really, but going to be wrapped up. Our tides, high tide is at 2:48 this morning, falling out all morning up until right after lunch at 2:27 will be the low tide. And it's going to be coming in this afternoon, and a lot of folks like to get off early on Friday. It's going to be a great time to go fishing. If you like to fish at incoming tide on Friday afternoon, it'll be a great time to do it. Now, marine forecast will be coming out of northeast at 10 to 15, so that's what's bringing in our cooler weather for tonight. Okay? Takes care of our weather. Let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and welcome Brad Stevens.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Brad. Sunjammer is right here, one of our sponsors since day one on Panhandle Outdoors, and just a great place out there. What I like is your versatility. You know, you started off, you know, with a basic idea, but then you've been able to spread out, Brad, and it's been enjoyed watching your business grow.
We keep morphing. We never know which direction we're going. We stay nice and fluid.
Yeah, that's good.
It's mainly what people walk through the front door like y'all and ask for is kind of the direction we like to go. We don't want to drag y'all in a direction. We want to go in the direction y'all want us to go. And so far, it's worked out decent.
Yeah.
Talking about them cooling temperatures, kind of the transition in the shop. You know, we kind of do our little front displays, change around. They're all hunting right now. You know, we got all your Moultrie cameras in. Last year, the Moultrie cameras went over just absolutely phenomenal. So we brought them back in. We got them starting. I believe this one's like $69, and they go, you know, they just keep going up from there. This one right here is the Panoramic 150. It'll take 150 degrees of pictures.
That's nothing new. I mean, getting out there, sort of widening it out.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, it's a panoramic. Yeah. I mean, you just sit there and do your line of sight. Yeah. And I believe it has a trigger range of about 40 feet, but yet it has that black flash technology or what, you know, so it doesn't scare them. It'll go, you know, about 100 feet is where it'll lighten up to. So
now you're going to start seeing a lot of these. You're going to start seeing a lot of these folks. I mean, that's going to be a big Christmas present.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
can see the big range on the bottom, and then when you turn it around, you know, you can kind of see, you know, just the big range of the images it can take. It's absolutely unbelievable what these cameras are doing these days.
It is amazing. So many people talked about it before. They just like to look at the pictures. This week alone, I counted 6 or 7 different pictures that I've shown on the show from people, you know, from Jackson County and Northern Bay County, where they sending pictures into me. Just love to see what's on at this time of year.
Yep. Every year we run out of cameras, and just about everybody else does too. We brought them in a little earlier this year, and they're selling. So don't wait until yours dies January, February to try to find a camera in this town. It probably will not happen.
Well, and another thing too, Brad, if you have more than like 5 or 10 acres, you need more than one camera.
Oh, absolutely.
And you really want to, put them, that way you can really get a pattern at what time they're coming in, and what angle they're coming in, and what path they're coming to.
It's a science,
Yeah,
and to help call them in, we have all of our doe estrus, our screaming heat, our the whole 9 yards. We got all the code blue and then code red, like I'm sitting here.
Yep.
I know it's a little early to start buying this stuff, but this is another one of those things that disappears. When these start selling, it's like the peg broke and they all hit the floor at the same time. It's unbelievable.
Well, you're letting people too also know that you have the stuff out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a great selection of hunting stuff right here.
We got, we don't have a massive half our store done. We have absolutely everything you need.
Okay, you got your corn and your
We got corn. We got some food plot stuff that's been selling pretty well. It's called buck jam. You can call it to the shop. Ask for Captain Wade. He knows all about it. He can tell you when this seed's going to sprout and when this one. It's like a 4-stage plot, so it just keeps going the entire season once you plant it. So he gets all into that. But we do have hunting stuff, and then deer corn. We're already selling lots and lots of deer corn.
Yeah.
So
that's good. Okay, but now you yourself, you're not carrying any guns or anything like that.
Nope.
What about ammunition?
No guns, no ammos.
Okay, none of that. But all the other supplies you do have.
Yep, just scents, attractants. Your scent covers up. We'll bring in your come deer and stuff like that here. In about a month or so, we'll start bringing that. But if there's anything you want to see besides guns or ammo, let us know. We can more than likely get it.
Okay. And also, all along now, you have your fishing stuff.
Absolutely. And then this time of year, everybody starts inshore fishing as that weather cools down. So we're putting, this is a Panhandle Outdoor exclusive. Y'all think we're lying, but it's not. There may actually be a sign in the store on this, and they are limited. But we're going to do, we normally do buy 2, get 1 free of Trigger X. We're going to do buy 1, get 1. These are Trigger X baits. They're very, very durable. If you aren't familiar with Trigger X, it's basically like gulp, only it's 10 times more durable. You get a gulp, you get a couple pinfish or something, hit it and it falls apart. These are significantly better baits in my opinion. And they still stink. You want to smell them?
I trust it.
So don't forget that we literally have a buy 1, get 1, and it's any one, buy 1. It's very, very, very good deal.
And don't leave them open in the tackle box now. Always close them back up.
Absolutely.
Especially in the back of your truck.
And then back we got our corkies. These are big trouts. See if we can get a picture of one of these things. This is basically like a soft topwater bait here. Very, very good bait for speckled trout. You aren't going to catch hundreds of speckled trout on this bait, but what you are going to do is the quality of your baits is going to be the quality of your fish is going to be much, much better on these Paul Brown corkies right here. And the guy sent me a little note saying we're doing a buy 2, get 1 free on these. So buy 2, get 1, and our Trigger X is buy 1, get 1. They call that a BOGO, I think.
Okay, I like that. Okay, look, we're going to take a quick break. I got some pictures to show you, then we're getting ready for our famous Friday fishing forecast and the giveaway. All right, welcome back. Let's first start off with a couple of pictures. I didn't get to show all of them yesterday, so we're going to wrap it up. This is a great picture here. I want you to look at all the specs on this picture here. I'm going to read you the email sent along with this. Is from Chris Carter. Thank you for all you do, Winston. I watch your show religiously. Yesterday at dark, I threw a spoon and on first cast caught this beautiful and unique redfish. I caught it in the Choctawhatchee Bay in Santa Rosa Beach. I have really been catching the mess out of reds on those spoons lately. Hope everyone enjoys this. This is Chris Carter. Also, check out this flounder. Chris also sent a picture of this nice flounder. Also got a flounder on a spoon in Choctawhatchee Bay in Santa Rosa Beach last week. Chris Carter. Thank you, Chris, so much. And let's go ahead and throw out this nice gag grouper off Mexico Beach sent to him by Captain Mitch Coleman. This Tennessee Bob catching a nice grouper there. We're going to talk about that when we get to our famous Friday fishing forecast. So Brad, the fish are still biting well.
And the fish are great, and those redfish are on fire all in West Bay, and it seems to be Aqua Dream Gold Spoon all the way. Gold and that copper color, I think it is, but it's just, I saw an order go through the system for a very large amount of spoons the other day, which means that's still what they're buying. So it's
That you can tell a lot. You can just do a study on the bait that's going out, or the spoons and all going out of your shop.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. Wade does most of our buying, but I can just sit here and watch the purchase orders go through and almost tell you what the hot bait is, and it goes in cycles. It's really, really weird. Right now, it's Aqua Dream spoons all the way. Outselling those Johnson Silver Minnows probably 5 or maybe even 10 to 1. It's really, really impressive.
Okay, y'all remember to check those out.
Something else that's flying out of the doors, these Penn 706Zs. Everybody's been really, these were selling on Craigslist and all those places, for like $400 or $500. I saw some in box go, some used ones for $300. $199, Penn 706Z. They are bailless. Best part about it, you can't see right here, it says made in the USA.
Oh, I love that.
This reel right here is made in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in Penn's manufacturing plant up there. Very nice. They're $199, sealed in the box. That's real big with 706Zs. Probably not so much with these, but if you get one sealed in a box 8 months ago, you found something.
Yeah.
And then we took this one step further. USA made reel. We have a USA made rod. Local rod extraordinaire Ernie Cavett is building pure rods, king mackerel rods, specifically for this reel. He dropped them off. I think Wednesday he dropped them off. Absolutely beautiful rods, balanced perfectly for king mackerel off our piers here. Built specifically for the 706.
Now Ernie's a local rod builder and he just does a great job custom build those rods.
He's as good as they get.
Yes.
These are custom for the reel, not necessarily for you. If you come in and you want something slightly different, we can put you and Ernie together and he can make you a rod custom for this and custom for you. It's unbelievable. And he's also spinning me up some cobia rods right now. See, these reels right here are great cobia reels. Guys really liked it. And surf fishing. He's going to have to make us a surf rod as well.
And we're getting ready for that big fall run, so you go in and get one of these and you'll be ready.
Absolutely. So, like I said, we're probably down to 4 or 5 of these left. They're very hard to get. Everybody thinks these are a limited run. They're not a limited run from Penn. They're just limited because they're selling them as fast as they can make them right now. So we have about 30 more that should be here in a week and a half or 2 weeks, maybe.
You know what's fascinating about this when he first brought it in, I said, years ago we used to take the bail off of these, take the bail off and fish a lot because they would cast better. And now they're actually coming out like this. That's great. That's a good reel right there.
So it's the exact same 706 they quit making, and I believe it was the mid-90s, somewhere in there. Parts are all fully interchangeable. So parts are going to be available eventually once they can make enough of these to sell. They will be offering parts for them so you can fix your old reel that has a bent rotor, whatever it has on it.
Okay, so you see you can go by and get all your hunting stuff and all your fishing stuff right there at Blue Water.
Sunjammers.
I'm sorry.
Blue Water probably has it too.
If you don't know that, I'm sorry. That's bad mistake. Blue Water, if you're way down that place called East Point and don't want to drive up here, but anywhere in Panama City or Bay County over there or Washington County, run down here and get them at Sunjammers.
And speaking of the rivers falling earlier, our cricket sales are through the roof, which means people are just, instead of them coming in and buying 50 or 100 crickets that, most people bring in their 4 cricket cages, go, I want 200 each. We're selling 800 or 1,000 crickets per boat because they're just absolutely killing them.
And you don't have to say you're going fishing, just say you're going to drown some crickets.
Absolutely.
That's what the old timers just said. We're going to drown some of these crickets.
And if you have any animals at the house that eat crickets, don't go to the pet stores. We are significantly cheaper than the pet stores. We sell thousands of crickets a week to people that feed bearded dragons. We have one lady, we call her the peacock lady or the ostrich lady. She raises one of those 2, and she feeds them. It's fun selling crickets.
Okay, let's get ready. We're going to give some stuff away. All right, let me see. Brad, you ready to do some drawing?
I'm ready.
All right, okay, this is from Tarpon Dog Seafood. Now, the first one we'll give away now will be a $20 gift certificate. And we'll get such great feedback from these folks here. I was all started up. The first one will be for $20 from Tarpon Dog Seafood.
I can't even grab one.
All right. That winner is Tommy or Tammy?
Tommy. My eyes are looking for
Tommy Bars.
Tommy.
You're a lot younger than I am now. Tommy Bars. Okay, that's $20. This is September 30th or 27th. The last Friday. All right. And now we're going to draw now for the big red snapper. I know we're going to cook it this weekend. And that is James Demery up in Niceville. James Demery in Niceville, and Tommy Bears right here in Panama City. So that's two winners there. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take our final break. We're going to set up for the famous Friday fishing forecast. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Rock Seafood, and Brad's going to add that reel right there, make it look realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to get started, and Brad's going to help me out here. We're going to work from west to east this morning. Start over in Choctaw Bay. Had a great report from Scott Lindsay. He called me Monday. He was on the way over there to fish Choctaw Bay. He'd gotten a good report, and he put it over there at the causeway and went and right out here at the causeway, put it in the causeway and headed east and over here some of these creeks, feeder creeks. He had an excellent afternoon. This is after work now. He caught redfish and trout, and he called me back after. He was all excited. Had a great afternoon, and we talk about it all the time, just going fishing right after work and all, and especially close by, you jump in and get it. And Scott did a good job. So he's been trying to find a place he can catch some redfish, because he's going to try to catch more redfish than me later on in October, but he's just wasting his time doing that. What have you heard? Anything on Choctaw Bay? Or?
No, not really. Here, the redfish bite's been pretty good over there, and a few speckled trout.
Okay.
We don't get a lot of Choctaw Bay reports. Mostly we get the West Bay.
All right, let's go on over here to West Bay then. All right, West Bay. So tell me what all you're hearing over here in West Bay.
Just the mouth of all the creeks on an outgoing tide. Redfish are just stacked up. So find those little feeder creeks and just pitch your, it's been a Gold Spoon or a Slayer Ink paddle tail.
Yeah.
And just working your bait with the current is probably the most important thing to do, especially if you're working those feeder creeks when the water's rushing out. If you got a bait swimming sideways, it does not look natural.
No.
So that bait really needs to go with the flow, almost float out for the fish to hit it.
Well, because you got to remember, they're sitting there and stuff's coming by, and they're feeding on the stuff coming by and all with the current and all.
They're lazy. They aren't going to go chase it when it's coming by the front of their nose.
That's true. So all these feeder creeks, and of course you have, again, we're talking about Burnt Mill Creek and Crooked Creek, and all these feeder creeks that come in right in here in the West Bay. And then down on this side too, you got a couple of smaller creeks here on the south side. So all those creeks are excellent. I've heard a great report on redfish too in that area. Okay. Also, I've heard some good dock fishing over there in the North Bay area. It's been really good around. Let's see, Goose Bayou up in here. These areas here have some kids that fish these docks, and a lot of times these kids can go after school and catch some nice fish. And I hear good reports there. Also, I wrote down, talking about that redfish report. And you heard the same report this week. I heard Wednesday show. Captain Ken Paramore told me he'd heard about 100-something redfish being caught off the pier. And then you heard another report similar to that. Yeah,
I just heard, it was like redfish mania on the pier. It was just unbelievable. Perfect reel for it, 706Z. Actually, that's a little big for those redfish, but it would definitely bring them in.
Yeah. And East Bay, I've got good reports on some large speckled trout caught over there in East Bay, okay, around Raphael Island, this area right in here. We always point out this area right in here. And then, of course, where Sandy Creek comes out up in here. Sandy Creek is excellent this time of year. Fishing Sandy Creek will be a great thing to do. And this weekend is going to be a great weekend for fishing.
It's going to be clear and pretty. It's going to be gorgeous.
Okay. Let's work our way on down to Mexico Beach. Got a great report here. You just saw that big grouper from Captain Mitch Coleman sent a report on Mexico Beach. And the water's 64, fairly clear. A few pompanos starting to show up, but it's still not that fall run yet. It's still a little bit early for the fall run, but they have caught a few. But I wouldn't really just go pompano fishing for the weekend. It's not quite time yet. Kings and Spanish are still hitting cigar minnows. Good gag grouper on pinfish at a carbide reef. That's good fishing there. 12 to 15 pound snappers. And we've got snapper season opening up next week, and that's going to be a lot of fun right there. Lots of sand trout on cut bait right around the day marker buoys in St. Joe Bay. That's that area right in here. These buoys, these day marker buoys, these trout just gather around, okay, right through here. And you can zoom in and see those a lot better. Now, scallop season is over, so now it's going to be taken back over by the fishermen. St. Joe Bay will have some good fishing this weekend.
Absolutely.
I've heard mixed reports on the scallops. I added up, I had over 60 different reports from scallopers for the past 3 months. And my report, if I had to file a report with the FWC or whatever, I would say it was a little bit below average this year. You know, people that go all the time and know what they're doing, they of course always get them, but some of the other people that just sort of weekend scallopers, they didn't do it quite as well as last year. So now go down to Apalachicola Bay. Captain Blair Morgan reported in Apalachicola Bay, flounder fishing is starting to pick up, but the big catch really, even here on Cape Sandblast, surf fishing there, the excellent report on catching large black drum in the surf. Now I don't know if we've caught any up in here, but down here, Blair reported Monday morning show that there was some really nice drum being caught, and that would be an excellent reel.
Wonderful.
For the catching those drum and all. Okay, then going down to Apalachicola Bay, oyster bar fishing for redfish is October. You just cannot beat fishing Apalachicola Bay this time of year around those oyster bars. Okay, around East Point, and then on the backside of St. George Island, right, we just move on down to the backside. We talked about it last weekend around that Goose Island area, wade fishing back in there. Again, if you want to cast a long wade, that's a good reel for that kind of casting and all. So, Brad, just overall, fishing has been excellent.
It sure has. You know, just remember, you cannot catch them sitting on the couch.
We'll talk about that.
You can't. You got to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Everybody complained about how bad the fishing was this year with all the fresh water in there. I just think it's because we were lazy and we didn't go out there and figure out how to fish it. The fish didn't disappear.
That gave us a quick excuse. A lot of people say, well, it's raining, I'm not going. But you look at Scott went Monday afternoon, a lot of people go in the afternoon for a couple of hours and all. One more time, talk about that spoon, that really hot spoon.
Aqua Dream spoon. Don't buy anything else but an Aqua Dream living spoon. We got the full spread of them. They have, I believe it's called the Vengeance spoon with the treble hook on the back of it. Don't buy it. There's too much grass in the bay. Buy the weedless version with just a single J-hook with the two little wire keepers on there. Very, very, very overly productive spoon. Unbelievable.
All right. Brad, thanks so much, buddy.
Thank y'all.
All right, now. Folks, thank you all for having a good week on Panhandle Outdoors. Appreciate you watching, and sometime today, now you do something good for somebody else. You have a great weekend and get outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.